The gun's reloaded. The gun can't jam. The gun lubed up. The gun got WD-40. The gun a AR. The gun a machine gun. The gun can't stop. The gun is a fucking nuke. The gun is a trilogy. The gun not playing with y'all. James not playing with these. Gun lock in. James ta ha 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 ta ha ha ha. Big bro, I ain't gonna lie, you him. I ain't gonna lie, you him. I was just saying like a couple days ago, James gotta drop something, but I was like joking for real, like, you know, obviously shit been steady, you know, Clayface, Lanterns, Peacemaker, Supergirl, like we got a lot. He ain't playing, I ain't gonna lie. He dead not playing. He on that all gas, no brakes. The gun is 3 fucking nukes. I ain't gonna lie, it's a trilogy. Like Superman trilogy, got it. Superman trilogy to start the DCU. Okay, I see how we're moving. I see how we're moving for sure. Today we're gonna talk about my wish list for Superman Man of Tomorrow. This just got announced this morning. Well, shit, this probably about to come out like tomorrow. So yesterday morning this got announced. Peak, Fire, The Picture, Cinema, Lex Luthor, Superman. Are they teaming up? Are they not? Are they besties? Are they enemies? Like, yeah, that's Cinema. It's about to be a relatively quick video because I got to go finish editing another video and I gotta go get in there. So let's do this shit quick. What's on the screen right now? Is Crazy Frog on the screen. Who the fuck is editing this? What y'all trying to watch? Let me know quickly. What y'all trying to watch? All right, y'all taking too long. Let's throw on. Okay, let's talk Superman. Okay, so there is a Man of Tomorrow comic, from what I understand. I have not read it. I ain't gonna lie. Listen. Stop. I'll read it. Okay, I'll make a video on it. I'll read it. For now, we're just talking about the movie, The Wishlist, based on other Superman comics, and just Superman in general. Like, what do we, because we're a fan. What do we want out of Superman? So let's think about it. We can view this. Okay, we can look at this as a Superman sequel, or actually we can't, because James has said so many times this isn't Superman 2. Even today he said this isn't Superman 2, but it's the same movie he was referring to, which was like the Super Family movie in question. So let's look at this as, instead of a sequel, it is a third installment in a trilogy, with Supergirl being the second. Okay, sounds good. That gives David his own movie, that gives Kara her own movie, and then the third movie would be a culmination film, i.e. the Super Family movie. Okay, sounds good. You're following. Everything makes sense so far. Because a lot of what I'm saying is just based off what we've seen. You know, I'm not trying to make any crazy prediction. No, that's not what I'm on. So everyone's seen the concept art of Kara, Superman, and Krypto with a Brainiac picture under, right? Okay, so let's just pretend for a second that this is a Brainiac film. At the very least, Brainiac as like an overarching villain. I don't think he's gonna be like he's gonna be the main villain. I ain't gonna lie, he gotta be, because like, yeah, okay. So a lot of people are saying Superman, Lex team up. Okay, I can see that. Let's assume, right, it plays out more so like there's something happening. Let's say there's rifts, for example, and we don't know how to solve it. No one can solve it. We gotta go to Lex Luthor. I don't really think it's gonna be that specifically. I think it'll be more so like, okay, so even in the Superman movie, Lex Luthor is not like an expert on the rifts. He actually, well, he understands it. I guess he is an expert. He is willing to destroy the city. Okay, disregard that. He is an expert. They need to go to him for specific things that are otherworldly. Let's say, for example, alien robots sent by a scary green guy, Brainiac. Now, we can go even further. We can do the city of Kandor, whatever the case is. Like, that's been done a lot, but we can do that whole storyline. It'll be great. Specifically with Superman Brainiac, that is a Superman and Supergirl story. We learn more about Kandor, and we learn more about Krypton, and just like Kara growing up after everything. By the way, Kandor is a city on Krypton that was stolen prior to the planet exploding. It was basically just stolen in like this little glass bottle, and yeah, it's just like tough, like I ain't gonna lie, Krypton be going through it. Free to guys. Okay, so yeah, peak. Next, let's talk about Superman birthright. Now this starts with Superman's parents getting slimed. Obviously Krypton explodes. Okay, now the story ends, spoiler alert, the story ends with Lex and Superman fighting, and Lex is opening rifts in, okay, I ain't gonna lie, it's been a minute since I read this, so major paraphrasing here. Lex is opening rifts, dimensions, sounds familiar. Lex is basically opening rifts and contacting other whatever the fuck. This culminates to Superman being able to contact kind of his parents. Like, he's not contacting them, but they can see him, and they basically see that he arrived on the planet many years in the future, right before they die. So they have like a sense of solace. The only reason I reference this is because I think if we do the plot line that people are saying, we'll at the very least get some answers to the whole Bradley Cooper Jor-El thing. Like, was that an augmented message? Was it real? Was it fake? We will see what's really what in the city of Kandor. It's is really like, I think there's no other way to do this movie than what people are saying, and not like, you know, sometimes predictability is good. And to be clear, there's no reason why Jor-El would be in Kandor or like even alive still, but considering the specificity of that whole situation in Superman, I have to believe it'll be addressed again and not just like a one-off. Give the people what they want to see. And first and foremost, what the people want to see is Superman fight Lex Luthor with his mech suit. It'll be fire. Like, they don't need to be overly friendly. This is what I want ideally, right? We start the movie similar to Birthright, you know, Superman going around the planet with the people, really getting in tune with the people. There's a big message in the Superman movie that Superman is not necessarily a American representative. He is a Earth representative, you know, really loves all the humans. So let's see Superman going around the world, interacting with the people, this, that, and the third. You know, the whole thing, like, life is good, you know, everything is good. This will be fine because Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow is majorly off planet, or entirely off planet actually, so we can begin this movie with Superman solo, Kara comes back, etc. Right? Okay. Something major would have to happen, you know, like a Brainiac bot, whatever the case is. Superman's like, what the heck? Superman has to lose, or the whole entire world is seemingly confused about what's going on. I guess we need a plot specific reason why this is something that only Lex can solve, hence the rifts. I think it has to do something to do with the rifts, similar to the Superman movie. Lex finds his way out of prison somehow because, let's just say, terms and conditions for helping. This culminates to a Superman Lex mech fight at some point, maybe even before he escapes prison somehow. The general meat of the movie is Superman and Lex teaming up to understand what Brainiac is, what Brainiac wants. This, that, and the third. We learn more about Kandor and Krypton and Kara's relationship with that. And then in the end, we quote unquote win. Obviously, it's not the real Brainiac, it's just one of his bots. Lex has some type of ulterior motive, obviously. And in my perfect world, this movie ends with Superman off-world somehow. Like, Lex finds a way to send Superman off-world, and the Justice League begins to get created over time with Superman gone, because like, he is very much seen like the strongest hero now. So let's have a reason to need other defenders on the planet. Okay, sound good. Now obviously this is a very quote unquote predictable sounding movie, but like I said before, I don't think that's a bad thing. And a lot of people also said the Man of Tomorrow is more so referring to Lex, which I think could be very interesting. One of my favorite depictions of Lex is Superman for All Seasons, and we get to really see, like, we get to see how formidable Lex is just as a mind. To some extent, when he's not fighting with Superman, he is scarier because there's not much Superman can do when he is not punching and fight. You know, not to say Superman's dumb, Superman is very smart, but Superman is not smarter than Lex, especially in certain aspects. So like, this in particular is really cool. Lex poisons like the whole city just to show Superman like what this shit really is. Like, if he wants to be on that, he's on that. But yeah, that's cool. Another interesting depiction, which I haven't finished the story, but I've read like half of it. Superman Red Sun. Lex is more protagonistic in this story. I am almost willing to bet it is not in that way, considering Superman starts off as the quote-unquote antagonist, but he's actually just a chill dude. So I assume like the character tropes kind of revert. But yeah, Lex starts off as the quote-unquote good guy, and he's trying to find a way to fight the Russian Superman. And I guess that characterization of like what makes Lex click in a scholastic sense would be interesting to see. Less maniacal, less killing people, more why does he think the way he thinks, how does he solve problems, what can he do when he's really putting his all into something. So yeah, all of that will be very interesting to see. I feel like I've kind of glossed over Kara's role in this story, but I think that's more indicative on where we end up in Woman of Tomorrow. So that is that. Also, if this is kind of random, if Lobo makes his way into this movie, I think they will merge the plot line in The Main Man Part 1 or Part 2. Lobo is basically put in this glass container, kind of similar to like the Brainiac domes, by this little fart that flies around, and him and Superman have to work together for a little bit. Well, do they? They fight, but then they kind of work together. So I think if Lobo is in this movie for any reason, we will get to see him in some sort of glass sphere similar to that. Random. So random. I just wanted to say it. I think that's all. That's the general groundwork for what I want to see in this movie, you know? Lex, Superman, Kara, Krypto versus Brainiac. Obviously, not actually Brainiac. Obviously, Lex is not a good guy. Superman ends up off planet somehow. Justice League begins to get formed following this. That is what I want. If you don't like it, well, that's the reason I'm not in charge of the DCU, buddy. Just let me yap. Okay. I think that's all. Let me know what you want to see. Let me know what you're cooking. I'm very interested to know. That will do it. I gotta go eat dinner. I haven't ate anything today, so I'm gonna go handle that. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you want to see next. This has been Double Creature. Goodbye.